I let my grain bags cool down for a couple days. I'm ready to inoculate them. See here I have a jar of liquid culture, a king oyster that I've had in the fridge for a while, for about 2.5 months. See the top's well colonized, and I've just given it a bit of a swirl to mix it up. I haven't put it back on a stirring plate or anything like that. I've done the same technique using a syringe to squirt up underneath the rim, and then thoroughly wipe down the top and around the outside of the jar. Clean it up. Now you can see these bags are nice and vacuum sealed. Give it a nice wipe down. Now you can tell there's some popped grains around the outside of the bag, and that's normal even if you don't do this technique. It never causes a problem for me. You can see on the bottom it looks a bit more starchy and globbed up. That's alright, that's what I expect. I'm going to use this entire jar, so I don't care where the lid goes. Go ahead and open it up. Same technique, pull the back corner, open it up, give it a little bit of swirl, and then pour about that much. Probably about a 1/4 cup of liquid. Well, probably about less, probably about an 1/8 cup of liquid. Whatever 500 milliliters divides out to for 12 bags. Pull the outside out, pull the bag out and plate it. Now, I can ruffle all the grain that's loose on the top, and then you have a section on the bottom that's a bit more mushy. Use your thumbs and hands, and you need it to kind of squish it apart, but don't squish it all the way down to the point where you're busting the grains. All you really want to do is kind of separate the cloth up a little bit. And you don't have to be real thorough, just get it mostly broken up. And then, unlike the sawdust bags, I still mix these in a rotational fashion because the grain flows over itself so well. There's no flaws in sawdust that I have to break up in the process. And in about a week, I'll give it another shake. As you'll see about 1-inch spots growing out. It's about the time you want to break it up, but you can really break it up as far past as you want, even if it fully colonizes. Let's say you have 1 or 2 bags that colonize ahead of the other bags a couple days ahead, so you can go ahead and mix them up while they're fully colonized and break the grain back up, and that'll kind of give it a delay as the grain regrows back together. Or you can just put them into refrigeration and store them ahead of time. That's pretty much what I do with all my bags, is I'll put them in the same walk-in cooler that I have all the mushrooms, just kind of use the bottom shelves there, or any floor space that I need. And I've used stored grain, 6 months old, and it was still fine. You can see I have my bagged wheat spawn up on the shelves. I try to keep it up higher than I would some of the sawdust bags, just because I like to get it going faster. Some weeks I do kind of cut it close, getting new spawn ready. So you always want to make sure that you have some spawn in reserve and refrigeration, or growing on the shelf, so that if you're trying to produce consistent results with your production, that you don't have any lapses and run out. You can always too cut a spawn bag in half and use one bag for 12 bags of sawdust. You cut the inoculation rate in half, and you won't get as good results, but it'll be better than running yourself short. You can see these bags of grain 8 days later. They're well colonized and ready to be mixed. And I'm going to mix them all, even though I have a couple bags that are just got a tiny bit of spots growing, but I'll mix those up anyhow, and they'll still turn out fine. They'll lag behind these ones, which is probably a good thing, because I'm not going to use it all at the same time anyhow. So I'll get some good results from all this, and I'll see you next time on Mushroom Adventures.